a news broadcast, kind of a recapping of events that's happened over the past. But my purpose is, by the end of this, I hope to instill in you just how soon Christ is coming, and to try to motivate you to get out and work as hard as we can, because there's very little time left. I think once you've heard some of the things that I've researched, you'll be like, well, how come the rapture hasn't happened by the time you get done telling us this? That's how soon it's coming. You see, back in March of 2009, I rededicated my life to the Lord, or April of 2009. And in March of 2009, I started having visions of the Lord, but not resting on that alone. The Lord prompted me to research, and the research has taken me some pretty fantastic places. And so this is what we're going to talk about. Okay, let's start right out with Matthew chapter 24, starting where Jesus starts to talk, verse 2. And Jesus said to them, "Do you not see all these things? Assuredly I say to you, not one of these stones shall be left upon another, that shall not be thrown down." Now that he sat upon the Mount of Olives, disciples came to him privately, saying, "Tell us, when will these things be? When will be the sign of your coming and the end of the age?" And Jesus answered and said unto them, "Take heed that no one deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am the Christ, and will deceive many. And you will hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you are not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There will be famines, pestilence, earthquakes in various places. All of these are the beginnings of sorrows. Then they will deliver you up to tribulation and kill you. And you will be hated by all nations for my name's sake." And it goes on, and finally he says, at the end of this small discourse, he says, "When these things begin to come to pass, look up." And I'm telling you right now, look up.
Amen.
Look up. Look up.
Amen.
Because our redemption draws nigh. Now, let's get into why we're here. Revelation chapter 13, verses 16 down through. No. Yes. Yep, 13, 16. "And he caused all, both great and small, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive the mark on their right hand or on their forehead. And that no one may buy or sell except he who has the mark or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let he who has understanding calculate the number of the beast, for it is a number of a man, and his number is 666, or 666. What I have found through my research is that a lot of people are talking about the mark of the beast, but no one really knows what it is. But what I have found is not the actual mark of the beast, but the infrastructure for the mark of the beast is being put into place right now. There is things being set up right now. The best way to explain this is this. Just as the way was prepared for Jesus via John the Baptist,
Come on.
the way for the Antichrist is being prepared right now.
Come on.
Things are happening around the world that the people that are involved may not even be cognizant of. So I'm not going to play the blame game. I'm not going to say that this one or that one, well, he's going to help the Antichrist. No, I don't know if they even know that they're doing what they're doing is if they know they're helping the Antichrist. It may be like a demonic muse standing over their shoulder saying, "Oh, go this way, go that way." and steering things into a position where everything's being laid out. What is the mark of the beast? And how close are we coming, is this to becoming reality? Now, one thing, too, right now we live on a cash-based society. Cash or gold. I mean, you could spend gold if you wanted to. You could spend gold or silver. If you had to, you could barter for it. But we basically deal with cash throughout the world. Even though we have credit cards and everything else, it's all based on cash. What kind of system would have to be in place where that you could not buy or sell unless you had a mark? Well, as long as there's a black market system, you can use cash, whether you got a mark or not. If you go under the counter someplace, they don't care if you get a mark on your skin or a chip in your skin or whatever. As long as you've got cash, they'll buy it. That's how the drug trade operates and everything else, is because we have cash. What kind of system would have to be in place for the mark of the beast to work, to prevent people?
Well, yeah.
How would you prevent people from buying and selling? Okay, so it has to be a cashless society, or like your cards in your wallet, like your bank card or a credit card. But beyond that, it has to be secure. It cannot be forged. It must be scannable. It must have all your identification information on it. We're going to go into that right now. Have you heard talk, since 2009, actually, March of 2009, we've heard talk of a one world monetary system. The Obama was talking to the Chinese ambassador, and they was talking about a one world currency. It's something that's been whispered about in the past. And there's been talk of, since the rise of the euro, there's been talk of an Amero, or a North American dollar. We're going to look at some of the most likely pieces of the puzzle when you put them all together, add up to the mark of the beast. The technology involved is, until this decade, actually until this century, until this century, the technology was not available to have what is talked about in Revelations chapter 13. It was not available, not to be able to be completely secure in that fashion. So here's what we're going to talk about. RFID, that's the big buzzwords, is RFID, a device called Square, the healthcare record system, that's a big one, a company that is part of the cattle industry called Somark, and IBM. What do all these things have in common? First, radio frequency identification. Some call it the chip. You've all heard about it in the news. People are getting it in their pets. Some people have had it implanted under their skin, right here in this part of their skin even. Radio frequency identification is all it is something that you can scan. It has a small amount of information on it. It can have a limited amount of storage. In other words, you can't have like a world library on it, but you can have probably, basic information like your name, your identification numbers and things like that. You're limited by the size. There's two different types. There's a passive and active. Active means it has a battery source, some kind of power, which means it can be detected from further distance. A passive has to have a magnetic field go through it and able to make electrons flow through it and then be read again on the other side. So it has no, most of your RFID tags are passive in nature. The ones that you see in the store that you get in the back of your tags and stuff that you have to take out, those are all passive in nature. It's in most of the products that you buy. It's even been put into pets and some people. By itself, this is probably not the mark of the beast. And I'll tell you why. As it stands right now, this cannot be part of, come in contact with a large magnetic field. So an MRI machine would be out. You can no longer get an MRI machine if you have one of these under your skin because it has metal in it.